Hi everyone, I'm Ben, and this is the Board Game Blueprint. This week, we're going to be taking a quick look at a new resource on the Game Crafter called the Playtesting Journal, the Fail Faster Playtesting Journal, and what's inside all of that. So let's jump on over to the table next door and see what we have in store. The Fail Faster Playtesting Journal is an invaluable tool for any designer. As we go through the list here of all the different things that are available, we have different gamifications, playtest reports, tools for ideas, scratchers, and all these other sorts of things that we can fill out and keep track of or record keep the progression of our designs. So that's enough time about this. Let's go ahead and jump right into the actual journal itself. Some surface level backstory about the Fail Faster Playtesting Journal is that it was actually up on Kickstarter, believe it or not, by J. Cormier, and the mission of the journal is to get the game out of your head and into your playtesters' hands. The sooner you know what needs to change in your game, the sooner you will succeed. Fail faster. And that's a bit of a mantra that I learned in design school too, so it's really cool that that kind of resonates and still carries over into so many other industries as well. The idea is that you'll be able to record keep a whole bunch of awesome, really great stuff. I'm going to actually open this up from the back to show you a couple really neat resources that are there. For instance, a colorblind friendly choice list. So seeing maybe what colors look normally per se, and then with people who have maybe color deficiencies, how those colors present themselves instead. So that'll give you a better range or idea about maybe different ones to use, or at the very least be aware of how they will appear to some of your players. We have some really cool component value ranges as well. So maybe you want something that is going to be really in depth and want to gauge what the cost is going to be for any of these bits when you're considering self-publishing and talking to yourself about the manufacturing costs. We also have a little ruler, so very much similar to our Game Crafter designer's ruler there, right here in the book. And there's also some really neat checkboxes. If you are going that route of self-publishing, we have a bunch of different areas that you can mark off depending on if you hit those questions, or found answers for yourself, I should say. But probably some of my favorite stuff here is going to be how to find a publisher if you're looking to maybe pitch, and what is going to be sort of a good checklist about things to hit again so that you're fully prepared to do so, including a sales sheet, an elevator pitch, and so on. We have a little checklist as well for maybe different conversations that you started and seeing maybe where along you've gotten with those, and then also at certain conventions, meeting up with them in person. We have this cool transparency as well, transparent sheet that you can marker onto and then dry erase as needed. And then another really cool thing is the included stickers that you can actually peel off and then put on the cover as you accomplish each of these different things or categories. So really turning the playtesting process into a game in itself helps make, hopefully, that journey for completing your game super satisfying and exciting. Here's a little key as well throughout the book about different things that you can randomly pick up to brainstorm or to maybe determine certain guidelines for a playtest as well. So for instance, on any pages with a 2 and 1, if you flip to that page, your random mechanic might be betting or wagering, a random theme would be Cthulhu, and then a constraint for your design would be to not have more than 5 different types of components. It's almost like a physical version of the Board Gameizer website we looked at in one of the previous Grab Bag Goodies videos. So here's that designer progress, and as you check off, this is going to be what determines where, or when I should say, you can apply those stickers to your cover to proudly show off about how accomplished you are of a playtester. And we have some goals for you to write down, as well as for each sort of playtest, a bunch of different fields. We'll have the name of playtesters that you can record, as well as the version of your game, the game name probably, or the prototype, what test number it is, and then the date, which is super important and something that I almost always forget when I'm jotting these things down. Also going to take note of the total score, setup time, all this kind of thing, game time, overall time, and whether or not you actually finish the game. Sometimes it's better or more economic to kill the playtest after a round or two just to get an idea of whether or not the mechanic that you are specifically testing is going to work, or is successful, rather. Any rule changes that you can make note of here, and then any observations as well. It's really important, as it says here, to note stress patterns when players talk, as well as body language and other things of that nature. So you can write all that down here. Again, yep, we have the dice, and then we also have maybe just other random things too that you could throw out there as needed for your own purposes. A couple other questions. This one's really cool. Oop, there we go, right on camera here. Is the winning player's strategy. What were they employing to best gain the victory? And see if that's going to be prevalent across multiple games, if there is a winning strategy, and maybe as you look over this at a later time, figuring out ways to mitigate that, or at least maybe make it less dominant. What did you like, what could be improved, and what didn't work for you? Other great questions to ask your playtesters at the end to see what could be made better and what could be even more fun for them. And probably a really great thing at the very end here, pro tips. Each page has a different one that you can scroll through, or flip through rather, for little tricks as a designer. And so, yeah, there are at least 36 sheets of these for you to mark up and fill out across your entire playtesting career. Oh, perfect. Why didn't I just skip to this in the first place? There we go. So here are all the different fields and essentially the different informations that you might try to fill them out with. More information about this and Jay's other pursuits with Fail Faster can be found at failfaster.ca, where you can likely subscribe to their mailing list and see when they might put up version 2 on Kickstarter or following along with any of their other projects. I know some general tips that I really like to follow when it comes to playtesting is to always thank your playtesters at the end of each session. They've given up some of their precious time to try out your game, and whether or not it was a hit or miss, the fact that, again, they sat down with you to try it out and let you know their thoughts is something that shouldn't be taken for granted. I personally am really soft-boned when it comes to player suggestions and then kind of implementing those right away. To me, design is a very much collaborative experience, and I really enjoy hearing what the playtesters can brainstorm at the end of the session about any better solutions that come to mind right away, and allowing myself to either sit on them and think about them, or just maybe, disregard but still write them down, as they are valuable, and it allows the playtesters to feel valued as well. The Fail Faster Playtesting Journal will definitely help organize all of these thoughts and more, and hopefully we'll see you with a whole bunch of these filled out really soon. Available on the Game Crafter, you can order yours today, and hopefully by this time next year, you'll have at least 1 or 2 of these filled out of all your progress. I hope you enjoyed this inside look at what the Fail Faster Playtesting Journal has to offer, and hopefully, when you pick one up, it'll help you along with your playtesting journey as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on future content like this. As always, I'm Ben. This has been another episode of the Board Game Blueprint, and together, let's build something great. Ho ho! So I might be doing this wrong.